one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. Now the 2-1. Line drive to the base hit. Justice has scored the tying run. Green to the plate. And he is safe. Safe at the plate. The Braves go to the World Series.
Have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines that sat when they were children and cheered their heroes.
Gibson swings and a fly ball to deep right field. This is going to be a home run. Unbelievable!
A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Ford Field to win the 1960 World Series.
They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past.
The Pope arrived at Yankee Stadium. As one enthusiastic announcer put it, he is standing on second base.
Reggie Jackson. Long drive right field. It is goodbye. Big World Series for Reggie Jackson.
The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run.
Back to throw. There's a left back. It's going to be, I believe, the Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant. The Giants from the pennant.
The 0-1 pitch. A liner off Nagy's glove into center field. The Florida Marlins have won the World Series.
The memories will be so thick that I can brush them with my faces.
The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings, long drive, left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run. The Red Sox win. And the series is...
Lolich fires. Ball is hit high in the air. This should be the series. Freehand waving everybody away in foul territory. Detroit wins. Here's the pitch to Willie.
There's a liner straight to Richardson. The ball game is over and the World Series is over. Willie McCovey hit it like a bullet. A line drive right.
Baseball to mark the time.
The Oakland A's take.
I'll tell you what, we're having an earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Candlestick Park for Game 3 of the 1989 World Series.
It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
Frank Robinson, the right-hand batter.
Long drive to left field. Way back. This is goodbye.
Base hit loaded, 1 out. Pena in a chance. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
Ozzie with 1 out. Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run. And the
Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
Broadcasted live.
Hey! Who wants to have some fun?
There are balls coming from all over the place. Left field, center field, right field. See, this is the kind of thing, quite honestly, right now, that makes you want to see the Chicago Cubs team lose.
Now, you just saying you want to have fun, or do you really want to have fun?
It'll be fun.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, or get them out of here? You don't live in Cleveland. You live in Cincinnati.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
That is the farthest thing in the universe from the truth.
Hello, everyone, live. It's the Dan Scott Show. And right there is your host, Dan Scott.
All right, welcome to the show, everybody, and good morning to you. I am Dan Scott. Good to have you along with us on this Thursday edition of the show. Shaping up to be another nice day. A little bit of rain, they're saying, maybe in the forecast. And as I look out across the visitor stands here at Paladin Stadium toward Paris Mountain and this gorgeous view I have in my office, clouds are starting to roll in, starting to get just a little bit overcast. But you know what? That's fine. We'll deal with it and move on and make the best of the day regardless of what weather the good Lord sends in our direction. So how are you this morning? You know, I ask that pretty much every single day, and I ask it sincerely. I really want to know and hope that you're having a fantastic start to your day by the time we get to 10 o'clock in the mornings. And again, if not, we'll try to provide you a little bit of a lift, and if you are having a good day, we'll certainly try not to do anything to mess that up, with the goal, again, and I say this every day, of trying to learn something we did not know by the time the show is done, and that usually falls first and foremost on the host, who also has an itchy nose. But anyway, makes for great television, doesn't it? That's why I'm still on the web. But anyway, with a face for radio, I might add. Coming up on the show today, in the middle segment, 10:25, we will visit with Adam Herendeen. He is the very young and very successful tennis coach of the women's tennis program here at Furman. They just wrapped up their second consecutive conference championship. They'll be heading to the NCAA championships coming up in May, sometime in the early part of next month. And he'll be here to talk about that and the accomplishment that this 2018 season was. Second straight for them and 18th overall for the program. It has been a remarkable run for women's tennis here at Furman. And that's not the only thing to be excited about from a Furman standpoint as we kind of take a quick look at what else is going on around campus. If I can get back, there we go. First and foremost, the women's golf team found out its NCAA destination yesterday. Jeff Hull's club will be heading to Tallahassee as the number 2 seed on May 7th through 9th at the 2018 Division I Women's Golf Championships. So Jeff Hull and his squad looking to do what they did a year ago, and that is advance beyond this round and get to the championship that involves the final 24 teams standing out in Stillwater, Oklahoma. We will try to get Jeff on the program with us before they head to the NCAA championships, but his team, the number 2 seed in an 18-team regional field, top 6 teams advance out of that region and the other regions, and those will make up the 24 teams that will meet in Stillwater, Oklahoma at the Carson Creek Golf Club on May 18th through the 23rd. So congratulations to Jeff Hull's team. Some individual stuff to talk about quickly. Allie Bukowski netted her record 6th SoCon Outdoor Track Athlete of the Week award for last week. She competed at the Virginia Challenge last weekend, winning the 5,000-meter invitational race by more than 17 seconds. That constitutes a blowout in the world of long-distance running. 17 seconds. Her time of 15:39:17 leads the SoCon this season by over 10 seconds and is good for 5th overall on the NCAA Division I performance list. So congratulations to Allie Bukowski, and also congratulations to Danny Vine, speaking of women's tennis, the SoCon Student Athlete of the Week for the week of April 18th through the 24th. She's a sophomore from Elizabethton, Tennessee, and she was named the SoCon Women's Tennis Tournament MVP after leading the Paladins to their second straight conference championship on Sunday. Playing up at Flight 3, she went 3-0, did not drop a single set during that time. So congratulations to Danny Vine. So a lot of great things going on here on campus, a lot of things to be proud of. And ironically, there's absolutely nothing athletically going on on campus today because today is the first day of exams. That's why the baseball series is a Saturday doubleheader and a Sunday single game this week in Charleston at the Citadel. Tomorrow will be a travel day after exams are over. The Paladins won't get out of here until 3:30 p.m. or after. So a doubleheader on Saturday at Joe Riley Park beginning at 1 o'clock and a Sunday single game also beginning at 1 o'clock. And we'll have the broadcast for you here on the Campus FM 95.9, online at FurmanPaladins.com, via TuneIn Radio, the app, or on your computer. You can find it by searching WPLS-LP. And we will also try to have an in-house frequency for you where you can listen on the radio if you're going to be inside Joe Riley Stadium. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to spend a little bit of time looking at the mock drafts, or at least one of the mock drafts. You know, there are about 1,000 of them now. But one of the mock drafts I called off of CBSSports.com this morning for both the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL draft begins tonight, and we'll kind of dive into that and see where some of the alleged experts think those two programs are going to go. And then after our interview with Adam Herendeen, we are going to play for you a video that Major League Baseball did back in 2006, I guess originally is when it was done. But yesterday was an anniversary of what is called the greatest play in Major League Baseball, and it had nothing to do with a ball or a bat. Well, play that video for you. It's about 4 minutes long, and I suspect many of you probably already know what that is. As we continue, though, just a word, there we go, about the Atlanta Bread Company. Had breakfast there this morning and a nice long chat with Jeff Massey, the owner. He is still all fired up about baseball season, man. And more than that, about Furman University. I probably don't talk about that aspect of it enough. This guy loves this university. He used to coach here years and years ago on the baseball staff. He's gone into the restaurant world now and has turned the Atlanta Bread Company into a major league success in Cherrydale Point. And they really, really support Furman University. And, of course, you know what they've done with this show. So I just encourage you to stop by, see them, and take advantage of the great food, the great service. Tell them what it means to have them sponsoring this program, so they will continue to do so in the future. And look forward to telling you about some of the new promotional items they'll be rolling out. I talked to Jeff today, and he said in the next 2 to 3 weeks there are going to be some changes coming to the menu as happens seasonally. So excited to be ready to tell you about those when they happen. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Plaza, just down the road here from Furman's campus. All right, to break we go. We'll come back, and we'll get into those mock drafts for the Panthers and the Falcons right after this on the Dan Scott Show. Don't go away.
Holding, number 79, defense, first down. I'm also holding a party tonight.
Great call by the official. Looks like we've got another flag on the field.
Holding a Pepsi. Necessary refreshment.
Hey, Ted, bring some of that Pepsi to my party.
Pepsi and the NFL. Welcome to the Fun Doesn't End Zone.
The Atlanta Bread Company wants to make your dining experience as convenient as possible, especially if you're ordering takeout. Go online to atlantabreadcompany.com, place your order there, and pay for it too. Then, when you get to the restaurant at Cherrydale Point, you breeze right by the cash registers and go straight to the pickup counter where your food will be waiting. And speaking of food, try the new Shrimp Po' Boy, a delicious and surprisingly healthy addition to the already great menu. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. When the Furman baseball team goes on the road, it travels safely, comfortably, and with the latest technology with Jeans Tours and Charters. Jeans has been a Furman favorite for decades and has serviced Furman baseball for over 20 years. Take it from head coach Brett Harker. Book your next road trip with Jeans. Jeans Tours and Charters, online at jeansbussvc.com or call 864-242-1673. Gene's Tours and Charters, servicing the upstate since 1980.
If you've been sidelined by an injury, the St. Francis Sports Medicine team is here 24/7 to get you back on the field. Our highly trained network of physicians, athletic trainers, and physical therapists treat all types of sports-related injuries, even those that don't occur from playing a sport. Call the St. Francis Hurt Line at 675-HURT for priority appointments or at-home advice. Again, that's 675-HURT.
Welcome back. We are continuing here on this edition of the show. I am Dan Scott, and as Chevy Chase used to say on Saturday Night Live, you're not, and you're probably better off for it on most days. Anyway, next step in my quest for the new DanScottShow.com comes Tuesday when I meet with Kenny and the folks at Ridge Media at their office, get together with his staff, and from what I understand, getting bombarded with about 1,000 questions. So they have a full understanding of what we want the website to be. And when they put it together, they'll have everything that they need from an informational standpoint to make it as successful as possible once it launches. They can do the same thing for you, whether it is starting a new website, search engine optimization and marketing, logo, print, and website design. They can do it all. They're a one-stop shop based in Greenville. They also have a office down in Charleston, and their clients range from startups like mine to Fortune 500 companies. So call today, get a free consultation, find out what they can do for you. It will not cost you a dime to have that meeting. 864-354-6175, 354-6175. For Ridge Media. All right, so I was looking this morning and tried to actually get it up in graphic form, but was having some technical issues in getting it to transfer very well. But the NFL draft begins tonight with the first round, and then it will drone on and on throughout the weekend. But I thought it might be interesting to take a look at one of the many mock drafts that are out there for the Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. I got this one off CBSSports.com, and so you take it, as always, take these for with a grain of salt. Take it for what they are, because they're, oftentimes can be trades and other things that happen, or the people who think they know what's best for a franchise really don't, or sometimes maybe they do know better than the people who are running the franchises. In fact, I saw a headline this morning, and in the interest of full disclosure, I did not read the story, but I kind of felt I didn't have to after reading the headline, because I thought to myself, man, if there's anything that is prototypical Cleveland Browns, it's this headline. GM settles on number 1 pick, won't tell Hugh. Talking about Hugh Jackson, the head coach. So the general manager of the club has settled on who the Browns are going to draft with the number 1 pick in the draft. And he's not going to tell his head coach who it is. This is a team that went 0-16 last year and 1-15 the year before. I think you're beginning to see why. I saw the headline, and probably there's something more to the story, but the headline just struck me as so Cleveland. I mean, that is so much like the Browns, it's unbelievable. Anyway, to teams that have had a little more success recently, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, their number 1 pick overall, number 26, has already been traded to Pittsburgh, so they won't pick until 2 spots later in the 28th. They actually flip-flop picks with Pittsburgh. So the mock draft here has them taking in the first round Calvin Ridley, the wide receiver from Alabama, with the 28th overall pick. In the second round at number 58, Braden Smith, the guard from Auburn. In the third round at 90th overall, Deshaun Hand, the defensive tackle from Alabama. Now, this has all the way through 7 rounds. So, I mean, they've done their mockingest of mock drafts here. So I'll just run through the rest of those quickly. They have the Falcons taking in the fourth round, number 126 overall, B.J. Hill, the defensive tackle from NC State. In the fifth round, at number 148, Kevin Tolliver, the cornerback from LSU. In the sixth round, at number 200, Ben Kurt, the quarterback from Virginia. And then 2 seventh-round picks at number 244 overall. Nick Baldwin, the fullback from San Diego State, and at 256, Grant Haley, the cornerback from Penn State. Really kind of focusing in on the top 3, but I thought it might be fun to run through the whole list just in the event that they actually hit on one of those. As far as the Panthers are concerned, this mock draft, and again, this is coming from CBSSports.com, has the Panthers taking Jair Alexander, the cornerback from Louisville, with their first-round pick at number 24 overall. And then in the second round, at number 39 overall, taking Justin Reed, the free safety from Stanford. Now, they also had another second-round pick, number 55 overall. They traded it and their first third-round pick, 85th overall, to Chicago. So they have those 2 picks now that are gone. They do have a third-round pick, 88th overall, and here they have them taking Rashad Penny, the running back from San Diego State. No fourth-round pick. In the fifth round, they have him taking Kiki Kute, the wide receiver from Texas Tech. At number 197 in the sixth round, Marcel Frazier, defensive end from Missouri. And then a pair of seventh-round picks at number 234, Taylor Hearn, the guard from Clemson. And at 242, Ryan Izzo, the tight end from Florida State. So that's a look at what the experts at CBSSports.com think that the Panthers and the Falcons are going to do in the 7-round mock draft. And again, kind of really focusing top-heavy. I am on the top 3, but looking at the rest for fun. And everybody makes a big deal out of the top round. The first round, that's the one that they've now set aside that will be done on Thursday night tonight, and there won't be anything else. I think rounds 2 and 3 are Friday, and then everything else is over the weekend. But, any GM will tell you, any football person, director of pro personnel will tell you, or player personnel will tell you that the teams are built usually in rounds 2 through 4, 2 through 5. In the draft. So while the top round is the highlight round, and obviously those players are there for a reason, usually teams are built more often than not with what they do in the rounds that follow 2 through about 5, and sometimes even 6 and 7. So in any event, that's a look at what the experts at CBS Sports think the Falcons and the Panthers are going to do, and it all starts tonight. So we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. All right, when we come back, Adam Herendeen is going to join us, and we are going to talk some women's tennis and talk about this Furman team that is off to the NCAA tournament for the second year in a row and the 18th time in school history, 18 conference championships now in the SoCon. We will come back right after this on the Dan Scott Show. Don't go away.
Hey Furman fans, it's baseball season. Here at Ingalls, we know that as you root for the home team, sometimes you want more than just peanuts and Cracker Jack. And while we do deliver on your favorite ballpark classics, we're proud to offer a packed lineup of everything you need to make your next meal a home run. Ingalls, a proud sponsor of Furman Baseball and the official grocery store of Furman Athletics. Go Dins!
Life's healthier when you're backed by a Greenville Health System primary care doctor. Because then, the doctor that has your back is backed by the more than 1,000 physicians and specialists at the region's leading health system, all working together to bring you the right care in the right place at the right time. Great health starts with a GHS primary care doctor, and there are more than 200 of them conveniently located throughout the upstate, ready to see you. Find yours today at ghs.org/mydoctor.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy. This rookie can really bring the heat.
He's smoky and spicy with a Chipotle style all his own.
It's a new Montgomery Inn Chipotle barbecue sauce. Make it a part of your home team.
Available now at your neighborhood grocer or online at CincyFavorites.com.
All right, welcome back to the program. It is 10:25 on the dot. Man, I love punctuality. This is a Dan Scott show, and good to have you with us. The young man sitting to my right, to the left on your screen, is the coach of the now two-time, back-to-back Southern Conference women's tennis champs, heading back to the NCAA tournament. This is Adam Herendeen. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thank you for coming back and spending some time with us. Again, I want to let folks get a look at this picture. Look at that group right there. That's a happy group of folks right there, isn't it?
That's a group that played a pretty darn good match on Sunday.
Yeah, I saw what beat the number 2 seed ETSU 4-1.
That's right. But the score probably doesn't do it justice. We beat them 4-3 in the regular season, and we're actually down match point. One of our seniors saved a match point when we beat them at their place. So we were expecting an absolute dogfight, and the doubles was very, very close. And then we came out and won 5 out of 6 first sets, and it was kind of just one-way traffic from that point on. The girls just played phenomenal.
That's great. That is absolutely fantastic. Just kind of give us an overview of how the season went, how you got to your second straight conference championship.
Sure. Well, we felt we had a chance to be better than we were last year. We had a good group of returning players and 2 good freshmen. And early in the year, we played a much bigger schedule than we played last year. We felt that our seeding in the NCAAs could have been a lot better if we played a better schedule. So we played a big schedule. And unfortunately, we lost a lot of close matches to really good teams. And I would categorize the beginning of the season as a little disappointing. We had injuries, and we just lost some tough matches. But you could tell that this group was fighting and was going to figure it out. And man, did they save their best for when it mattered most in the conference tournament. And I'm just really, really proud of them. They just kept getting better. They worked super hard all year, and just a special effort on Sunday from them.
So you didn't win those early matches in the ramped-up schedule, but as the season went on, do you feel like playing those helped you?
Absolutely. Every coach talks about the process, and it's not about the results. And obviously we're preaching that, but it's a little disappointing when you go all the way to Illinois and you play very well, but Illinois ends up being 7 in the nation and beats you. You go, man, what are we doing? And but it really helped our girls. And if you really watched, I talked to some people that were at our conference tournament last week, and they said what stood out about our girls compared to the other teams is just how well our girls competed. And we talk about controlling their emotions. Obviously, tennis is a very frustrating sport, and our girls just compete really, really at a high level. And they compete every day. I went through our schedule right before the conference tournament, and I was kind of looking for where did we play a bad match? Where was I really upset with the girls that, hey, we did not play very well? And I went through it, and obviously we had some matches where we missed opportunities, but we didn't play a bad match all year. We got beat by teams I don't think we should have lost to, but we came ready to play every day and competed our tails off every day. And if you do that, you're going to have an enjoyable season. And man, it was a lot of fun.
Isn't that a typical coach? You have all this great success, and you're looking for, man, what can I get on these girls?
That's right.
About, right?
That's right. I couldn't find anything. I was looking for that little bit of motivation for the tournament. They didn't need it, I guess.
That's great. Tell us about the, you talked about having some changeover in the roster, but you also had some experience and some leadership. Who provided the necessary leadership?
I mean, I think it starts with our 2 seniors. Erin Green, who came in last year as a transfer and played really good doubles, but would probably say she was a little disappointed with her singles. And, man, she was having an unbelievable year. And actually, you have a special group. Last year we had a lot of things go our way. This year, it felt like we had a lot of things not go our way. Every single girl had battled injuries and sickness, and the number of times we put our top 6 players on the court was not a very high number. And, one of them was our senior, Erin Green. She was having an unbelievable year. playing some phenomenal tennis. She clinched a big match against DePaul for us, which was a really fun one. And then she went down with an injury, and we only had her for doubles for the conference tournament. But her and her partner clinched the doubles point for us. And Gabby Rodriguez, our other senior, had her best year by far. And she clinched the regular season title. Like I said earlier, she was down match point against East Tennessee State. She was down 5-1 in the third set tiebreaker against East Tennessee State and came all the way back and won it 8-6 in just a crazy match. And so it starts with those two. But, I mean, Katerina Kozarov, she played 4 singles for us last year and played 1 singles and 1 doubles this year and was player of the year in the league. Danny Vine's coming back after being freshman of the year. Came up huge this weekend. Didn't play her best tennis all year, but this weekend she was just a huge highlight for us and a big reason we were successful. So just a lot of people stepping up, and it was really fun to be a part of.
Yeah, in fact, as I've got pulled up on my screen here from FurmanPaladins.com, Danny Vines was just chosen the Women's Tennis Player of the Week in the SoCon. All she did was go 3-0 and did not drop a single set. And
she was Student Athlete of the Week for all sports.
Yeah.
And as far back as we can tell, we can't find a time that we've gotten that award. So that's a big award, and she was just phenomenal. We actually changed our doubles pairs in the semifinals because of injuries. Our senior Aaron Green was out, and so that doesn't happen very often. We went back to a doubles lineup that we hadn't played since spring break. And her and her partner, Caddy Weymouth, were phenomenal in that final. They won 6-4, and she just had a great week and played absolutely fantastic this weekend.
And I don't want people to kind of miss that a little bit, and I'll let you kind of explain it, because really in any sport, in any kind of a competition where you're working with a partner, there's got to be a certain level of communication and experience and working together. And if that hadn't happened since prior to spring break, I would imagine that was a concern for you.
Absolutely. And it was, I'm not big on gut instinct, but we were playing pretty good doubles early in the year. We went to the ITA kickoff weekend at the University of Georgia, and we played Penn, who was highly ranked nationally, and we just stomped them in doubles. And then when we had injuries and all these things happened, we ended up changing pairs, and we had a couple of our girls that played 1 doubles and an out. And so if you look at our doubles lineup the last couple of weeks, it's constantly changing, which is not exactly ideal. But Caddy and Danny had a really good year last year. They were 16-1 last year and were nationally ranked to start this year. So we knew that was a pair we could come back to. But they actually played together in the quarterfinals and were in a lot of trouble when the doubles point got clinched. So I think it just shows how tough those girls are, that they can just come back. And like I said, in that final, they played absolutely fantastic. And it just was, we all kind of felt this is what we needed to do. It's not normal to not play the same doubles lineup for so long. But we knew that our 1 doubles pair of Katerina Kozarov and Aaron Green was going to be great. And Danny and Caddy have just had so much success and they just played awesome. So
how long does it take a good doubles partnership to develop that kind of on-court chemistry?
It just depends, and so much of it's trust, and it comes and it goes. And I think if we're looking at how the year went, I think they actually lost a couple of really tough, tight matches, and that's when we actually made the change to split them up. But they just have a high level of trust in each other, and some of it's just how their games complement each other. Caddy's very, very good from the baseline. And Danny's probably one of the best net players around. And so we know when we get in that formation, we're going to be successful. And so it's our job just to get into that formation as much as possible. But sometimes it happens overnight. You throw them out there and you go, hey, that's a good pair. And sometimes it takes time. But that's a pair that's always been strong for us.
This is Adam Herendeen. He is the head coach of the women's tennis program here. Just wrapped up their second consecutive Southern Conference championship and the 18th in the school's history.
Right.
So you've come in here and in your short time here continued what's been a pretty daunting legacy to walk into.
That's right. And what's fun about it is last year we had shirts made that had a big 17 on the front, and the girls thought it was 17 because it was 2017. But it was also our 17th, conference tournament title. So I told them we got to get shirts again that say 18. So we have there's a really high standard right now because our goal is to win it every year so that we can keep getting shirts that say the year of that we won it, but also the number of championships it is. So hopefully this year we'll get shirts that say 18, and hopefully next year we can get 19.
And save shirts, save budgeting money on the shirts.
That's
because
right.
It serves both purposes.
That's right. Exactly.
Hey, tell me about the year. You mentioned that sophomore Katerina Kozarov was the 2018 SoCon Player of the Year. Tell me about the year she had.
She last year played 3 and 4 singles for us, and 3 doubles, and had, for a freshman, had a very, very good year. But we knew there was more there with her. I mean, she's a very hard worker, very coachable, and she came to summer school. We actually had 4 girls in summer school this summer, which is a lot for tennis, and just had an awesome summer. And you knew she was going to have a really good year, but it was probably at the Furman Fall Classic this year. We renamed it to the Debbie Southern Fall Classic, where she won her flight in singles and doubles. And that's when we went, hey, man, this is going to be an exciting year. And that's when her game really went to the next level. And even still going into the spring, I think she's 18-5. I don't think a lot of people expected that, but she just worked so hard, and for her to get to clinch the final was fantastic. And she clinched it on a winner. Usually these matches are won on long points where someone's just trying not to miss, but that's not we call her KK. That's not how KK plays. She went for it and hit a winner, and so it's just a special year, but it's just hard work paying off, so.
Well, it's also good recruiting, right?
Yep. Well, she actually was my first recruit when we got here.
There you
go. So that one definitely means a lot, and just a good kid and hard worker, and she still has a lot of room to improve, and we're excited about that. To have a sophomore that's Player of the Year is really exciting because we think there's still a lot of room for her game to develop.
How was this year for you compared to last year? I don't know if overwhelming would be the right word last year, but you have to be more comfortable in year 2.
Well, so this is actually year 3. So the first
okay.
year we won the regular season, but we did not win the tournament.
Right,
okay. And we knew going into last year we had a special team, and you're returning, Ansley Speaks, a 2-time Player of the Year in the conference. There's a lot more certainty, I would say, with last year. Even though KK and Danny played 3 and 4 as freshmen, anybody in the tennis world could tell you at 3 and 4, that's pretty darn good. And you return Caddy Weymouth, who was freshman year. So last year it felt like a lot more certainty. This year you graduated what at that point was a 3-time Player of the Year, and it's a little more of, okay, who's going to play one and who's going to go where in the lineup, and then you start the year playing bigger teams and you lose a little more than we did last year, and you're kind of uncertain. But this group just kept working, and it's I know it's so simple, but every day they came to work, and the number of times that we left practice and I said that wasn't the standard early on was maybe a little too often, but down the stretch, I mean, it was just every day having a good day at practice and working hard. And so I would say this year was definitely a lot more uncertainty, even though we had won it the year before. But when everybody on the team gets a little bit better, it's gonna result in a great year.
So you go undefeated in Southern Conference play during the regular season. That's hard to do.
It is, and obviously ETSU was the second seed going into the tournament, and we knew they had some injuries early on, and so lost some matches maybe they shouldn't have lost. But we knew going to that regular season match it was going to be an absolute dogfight, and it certainly was. And then if you look at their scores in the tournament, they were much more impressive than ours. I mean, they beat Samford in the semifinals in about an hour and a half. And I saw those scores, and I'm not usually one to look at that, but I'm like, wow, like, are they playing that well? And they were playing that well, and our girls just stepped up and beat what I think is a very, very good ETSU team.
So now you're kind of playing the waiting game.
Right.
Coming up next week on May the 1st, you will find out your opponent. The first round of the NCAA championships are on campus sites, right?
That's correct. So typically it's seeded regionally. So last year we went to North Carolina. Last year we actually just missed being seeded 3 instead of 4, which instead of like basketball, they seed 1 through 16. Tennis, they do 16-1, 16-2, 16-3s, and 16-4s. So we'll be right on that bubble of a 3 and a 4 again. And we'll likely go somewhere in the southeast, but in theory you could go anywhere. So we'll find out next Tuesday.
So no chance of hosting in your mind?
No chance of hosting, but the University of South Carolina doesn't have indoor courts, and they will be hosting. So it's possible that they could send us to South Carolina. If it rains, we'd be coming right back home to Furman, which would be kind of neat. But I that's obviously a long shot, but that would be pretty neat.
Very rarely will you hear a baseball guy say, "Let's pray for rain." But if that's the draw, let's pray for rain.
That's right. As a tennis guy, we'll say let's pray for rain because we got a great facility here, and it'd be kind of fun to get to play at home for the NCAAs.
What's the plan as far as watching the selection show?
Well, last year we actually did our banquet after the selection show, and it was kind of neat. Obviously celebrating a great year, and we had so many friends of our program and alumni come to our selection show. So we thought, why not just do our awards ceremony right afterwards? So that's open for anybody that wants to come. So we'll do the same thing. It'll be at 5:00. The selection show is actually very quick for tennis. And then afterwards, I'll talk a little bit about the season and hand out a couple of awards and not anything too major. I mean, we're still playing. It's a little unique to do your awards banquet while you're still playing. But whenever the NCAAs does end, obviously the girls are all going home. So we did that last year, and it was a lot of fun. And we had a lot of people come out, so it was great.
Where will it be?
It'll be in the Pierce Horton football room here at Paladin Stadium. And it's a really nice venue to have something like that. We had the golf selection show yesterday, and just a nice venue and open for anybody that wants to come.
Sounds like you're all fired up, man.
We are fired up. Yeah, it's been a great year, and our motto, one of our mottos has been "The best is yet to come." Mm-hmm. And I just think we have an incredible history. So many girls that have helped us grow our program here, but we're still just getting going, and we think we can keep getting a lot better.
Now, my next question is, how are you remaining so positive and so upbeat with a new baby?
Well, so that's called caffeine. We had a new baby who was born 2 weeks ago, and the sleep has been a little bit on the lower side, which I guess that shows what a trooper my wife is to let me get a little bit of sleep so we can finish our season well. But it's been a hectic couple weeks, that's for sure.
Second child, right?
Second child. We had our first one in February of my first season here. And then we had this one obviously 2 weeks ago, so April here, and I think the timing could be a little bit better, but we got great support from our families to help with the baby, and so I've told the girls the last couple of weeks I've got two priorities: finishing our season well and taking care of the family. That's about it. If it's outside of those two things, I'm not probably doing it right now.
This is probably a better question for your wife, but it seems like a pattern has developed now. So will there be more Herendeens every other season coming along?
I mean, we had a baby, we won a regular season. We had a baby, we won a regular season at a tournament. So, I mean, if that's the trend, I think I could be talked into it. But two's good for now, I think.
I hear you. All right, so just kind of tell people again time, place, so we can get some folks out for the selection show.
5:00 on Tuesday, I believe that's May 1st.
Yeah.
Is that right? In the Pierce Horton football room, and we'll have some light snacks, and the team will be there. The selection show will be right at 5:00. We'll get to find out where we go, which last year we were actually on the very last line. I'm starting to worry, are we in? Did I miss something? So who knows? We could be anywhere in the draw, but then we'll do a brief award ceremony afterwards, honor some of our players, and that'll be it.
Well, sounds fun, man. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Again,
Thanks for having me.
On another phenomenal season, and let's go make some noise in the big dance.
That's our plan. Thanks so much.
That is Adam Herendeen, the women's tennis coach here at Furman University. We'll come back, and we'll let you see what about 12 years ago, I guess, when MLB first put out this video, what they call the greatest play in Major League Baseball history. We'll do that on the other side. Dan Scott Show returns in just a moment.
The Cows want to remind you to cater your next party with chicken. Like the 15 crowd-pleasing trays from Chick-fil-A. Whether it's the nuggets, brownie, or chicken minis tray, both you and the Cows will have more reason to celebrate. Chick-fil-A Catering.
Don't forget to drop by Chick-fil-A at Cherrydale. The best place to stop on the way home from a Paladins game. Chick-fil-A at Cherrydale. Every Furman fan's favorite.
Chick-fil-A Catering.
If you've been sidelined by an injury, the St. Francis Sports Medicine team is here 24/7 to get you back on the field. Our highly trained network of physicians, athletic trainers, and physical therapists treat all types of sports-related injuries, even those that don't occur from playing a sport. Call the St. Francis Hurt Line at 675-HURT for priority appointments or at-home advice. Again, that's 675-HURT.
Atlanta Bread Company wants to make your dining experience as convenient as possible, especially if you're ordering takeout. Go online to atlantabreadcompany.com, place your order there, and pay for it too. Then, when you get to the restaurant at Cherrydale Point, you breeze right by the cash registers and go straight to the pickup counter where your food will be waiting. And speaking of food, try the new Shrimp Po' Boy, a delicious and surprisingly healthy addition to the already great menu. That's the Atlanta Bread Company, Cherrydale Point in Greenville. All right, welcome back to the show. Our thanks to Adam Herendeen for joining us and talking about his team's second consecutive Southern Conference championship, their 18th overall as a program. And again, they'll find out at 5 o'clock on Tuesday of next week in the selection show where they will be going in the first round of the NCAA women's tennis tournament. As we get back to play, just a quick reminder about my friends at Security Complete. They are my security provider for my home. I trust them to protect my family, and I'm encouraging you to do the same to protect your family, your business, whatever your security needs are. The guys who run it have over 40 years combined experience in the industry, and they have top-level, top-of-the-line technology. And they give it to you at a price that is going to blow your mind. The best thing I like about it, besides being kind of a technology guy, is the fact that on the off chance that something happens, whether we set the alarm off accidentally or God forbid something does happen, I know the number that the call center is calling from. It's not like when my previous company was bought out by a big company and the call came from some random 800 number that I didn't recognize. And once I just, basically ignored the call, and next thing I get a call from my wife that said the sheriff showed up at our house. I know where the call is coming from, and that is a big, big relief when that alarm goes off, and especially if you're away from home, like I am quite a bit, and I'm the first phone call that comes up. So I'll know immediately to answer that. They are just phenomenal people that are located in Liberty, but they serve the entire upstate area. Security Complete, you see the number, 864-546-0360, 546-0360. And you can also find them on Facebook and on Twitter. That is Security Complete. Please tell them that you heard about them here on the Dan Scott Show. All right, yesterday was an anniversary on April the 25th, 1976. Rick Monday, then of the Chicago Cubs, before he got traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers, in a game, ironically enough, against the Dodgers, pulled off what Major League Baseball itself termed the greatest play in MLB history. And on the 30th anniversary of it, they put out a commemorative video telling the story. This thing never gets old. Yesterday was the anniversary again. Watch this. Here is Rick Monday and the greatest play in Major League Baseball history. Check it out.
Side, ball one. And wait a minute, there's an animal loose. Good. All right. I'm not sure what he's doing out there. It looks like he's going to burn a flag, and Rick Monday runs and takes it away from him. And so Monday, I think a guy was going to set fire to the American flag. Can you imagine that?
30 years later, I could not tell you immediately what was on my mind, except what they were doing was wrong. As far as I'm concerned, it was wrong in 1976. It's wrong today, what they were trying to do. The first match was struck, and as it was put to the flag, the wind blew it out, and I'm still running at them. The second match is ignited, and one of them starts to put the match to the flag at the same time I got there. I do know that I thought about maybe bowling them over. But now I can get the flag before maybe the match can get there. So I reached down, picked it up, still on the run. And the first thing that came to mind, you could smell the lighter fluid. That's how much they doused it. And it was soaking wet. You could feel the coldness of this lighter fluid. They said, well, is it on fire? Well, obviously it was not on fire. Thank goodness it was not on fire.
People don't know this, but he beat me to the flag. I was coaching third base at that time, and I saw Rick Monday start running from center field over to left. I didn't know what it was, but as soon as I saw him stop, I took off, and I ran out there.
Tommy Lasorda, remember, was the third base coach at the time for the Dodgers. It was the year before he became the manager, the year before I came to the Dodgers. Tommy ran past me yelling about every expletive a longshoreman has ever uttered in trying to get to the guys. I gave the flag to Doug Rao, who's a left-handed pitcher for the Dodgers, who came out of their third base dugout, and I gave him the flag. I turned around, the guys are being escorted off the field by members of the security team, and also Duke, the head groundskeeper, was with them too, and he had one of them by the arm, and they escorted him off the field. And it was a very quiet moment. There was a smattering of applause as they got these two guys off the field. Then it got quiet again. And if memory serves correctly, from one part of the stadium, I don't know where, and then from another part, and then from another part, and then kind of collectively, people began to sing God Bless America. Don't know where it came from.
It was a very heroic move on his part in a situation that could have easily just let go. The flag could have easily just burned there until a couple of ushers came out. But Rick acted, and I think we're all very, very happy that he did.
I'm surprised by the response in the greatest sense of the word. Embarrassed by the intention that was focused upon me, because I don't know anyone that would not have done the same thing had they been as close to it as I was. So that being said, I get letters every week from retired servicemen, from their families, from kids who were not even born then that heard about it. And I started again a little bit more so a few years ago. Major League Baseball had selected that moment, saving the flag, as one of the top 100 moments in Major League Baseball history. So there was a rejuvenation of that entire thing. And from time to time, people ask, well, are you upset because you spent 19 seasons in the major leagues and you're known for primarily stopping two people from burning the flag? If that's all you're known for, it's not a bad thing at all. I think it solidified the thought process of hundreds of thousands of people that represented this country in fine fashion. Many of them lost their lives.
And like I say, that thing is now, 12 years old, that video? Never, ever gets old. Yesterday was the anniversary of that happening at Dodger Stadium in that game between the Cubs and the Dodgers when Rick Monday was still a member of the Cubs before he had been traded. And it's just, it's hard to fathom where the country was then. Of course, that was the bicentennial year, the bicentennial celebration in 1976, and where we are now in 2018, where there seems to be less, not only less emphasis, but less respect for the American flag at any time in our history. And I'm not talking about from other countries. We're accustomed to other countries disrespecting and burning the American flag. But I'm talking about inside our own country. And how many times do we see stories where college professors or teachers in some misguided attempt to make a point do something that desecrates the American flag? Or how often do we see people, stories of people trying to burn the flag or succeeding in burning an American flag? It bothers me. It angers me when it happens, and it angers me the most when it happens inside our educational institutions. That's the place that is the real head scratcher for me, when there are people inside our educational institutions, whether it's at the secondary school level or the higher education level, who feel like that is not only a way to make a point, but it's an appropriate way to make a point. Regardless of what your political beliefs and political affiliations are, that flag is supposed to represent all of us, and all of us are supposed to have that respect for the flag. And sadly, we live in a day and time where that respect, that level of patriotism in many aspects, I think, is at an all-time low. So I think it's good for us to see things like this Rick Monday video from time to time to remind us that there was a time in this country when doing something like that was an affront to just about everybody. And secondly, that is still the symbol that we use to represent the freedoms that we have, and everybody, every religion, every race, every color, every creed that makes up this great United States of America. That's the symbol, and it should be respected. And so I think it's important to watch that video, or if you can find similar videos in other genres from time to time, just to remember how we're supposed to treat, how we're supposed to reflect on, and more importantly, respect the American flag. I attend a Tuesday morning prayer breakfast with the men's ministry at our church, and many of the guys who attend that are gentlemen who are in their 70s and even more than a handful in their 80s, and a good number of them are ex-military guys. Some of them are Marines, some of them Army, some Navy. Their respect, the way they honor the American flag is just an incredible example. And again, it's something that's been lost in the generations, in many ways anyway, in the generations that have followed, which is really sad. It's a sad commentary on where we are as a country. But for one moment anyway, we got to relive something that was a special moment, and sports as a genre and Rick Monday as an individual played a huge role in reminding us of how the flag should be respected and treated, and what true patriotism in this country looks like. And with that, we're going to wrap up the program. We'll be back with you tomorrow, getting set to head to Charleston to play some baseball. On Saturday, the doubleheader against the Citadel, and then a single game on Sunday. We look forward to having you with us then, and we will be back to put a wrap on the week. You folks have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.